Boom. Good to go. King's Court MMA in the house.
Come
Chicago
on.
Soggy.
Yes, yes, yes. Your guy Mardy.
Oh, it's warm. If you're in the UK, it's warm. Not complaining. Just saying, if you're seeing the melanin glowing, yo, yeah, the sun is out. The guns would be out, but it's not. It's not that. It's a family show, and they got to keep it PG.
That's it. It's pre watershed, isn't it? So, oh, it's
Yeah, yeah,
watershed.
yeah. But yeah, we had to reunite for a UFC 319. We had to chop it up about that. Stack meter. What are you saying? Like, what's a card overall? Like, what are you
I
saying?
think it's
Out? What are
gone.
you saying out of 10?
I think it's gone underneath the radar, but actually, I'm saying that meter maybe like a 8.7. It's a
Yeah,
good card.
I think not under the radar. I think maybe for casuals, but if you're
Mhm.
an MMA fan, if you like violence, this is
Yeah.
on your radar. This is on your radar. DDP versus Chimaev. That's a big deal. And if we could have match made at the beginning of the year, this would have been our top three of fights that we have to see this year, and it's happening.
Oh, 100%.
So um, massive fight, massive fight. I still don't understand how Chicago got the card. It's really random. This
It's
this for
true.
me feels like it should have been. Let's be honest, in Africa, if not in Africa, in the Middle East.
What are they
I'm a
doing?
bit, I'm a bit, I'm a bit confused as to the relevance of Chicago to either of the main event or the co-main. Let's be honest, or anyone in the card. To be fair.
It's very true. It is very true. And they've missed the trick there, obviously. The Noisy Neighbours have already done a show in Africa. This would have been the ideal one. DDP comes in Africa. You're mad. In South Africa. Oof. That would have been a show.
Yeah, yeah,
But
they've let us down there, but it's not like they ain't got even deeper pockets. With the news yesterday, was it just for the US rights, the Paramount
yeah,
deal was it over 7 billion?
that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
That's
I
crazy.
saw I saw a stat that basically it was more than what they did for Champions League, more than what they've done for South Park as well, which was up there
Yeah, combined.
combined.
Yeah, they combined like three. I think it was three sports, maybe two major US sports with South Park in there, and it still didn't touch the figure that the UFC's hitting. So well done, Uncle Dana. Well done. Well done. Well done.
Indeed. Indeed.
Big
Money.
news. Big news. And let's be honest, we hope that resonates more importantly to the fighters. Like we
Yeah.
hope that trickles down from day one. Like we hope it's reflected in bigger bonuses, fighter pay, maybe even a little bit of infrastructure for the fighters once they finish. Like pensions and
Mhm.
aftercare and stuff. I hope it takes the sport to a new level. Obviously, we're dealing with what is by far the number one MMA organization globally. We hope they
Yeah.
can start treating their fighters like once they get to that promised land, that it is actually a promised land that lives up to the promise. So now, looking forward to seeing what the UFC in particular can do from 2026. The deal goes live from like the 1st of Jan 2026, which is incredible.
That's it. That's it. And it also probably puts an end to some of Dana White's hunting for people that are streaming illegally and sharing it and everything like that. Obviously there's still going to be people that are not going to be able to afford or don't want to pay the £10 a month Paramount in the US or whatever happens. But yeah. And let me ask you a question: is that just for US viewers or is it for the
That's
UK
just
as well?
that's just a US deal. That's just the US deal. So exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
okay, it might be a VPN thingy for me, Let's see. Oh, Uncle Dana. Uncle Dana's listening,
you're live, man. I said nothing. That was all you. uh, but yo, let's dive right into it. Yo, we're overdue a catch up. Let's just say so. We'll be back online very soon. We need to dive right into
So,
319.
yeah,
Time is limited. There's no way we could allow 319 to become upon us and not break it down. And you know what? I don't even want to start. Usually we start from the bottom of the card. We usually always start at the top of the card and work our way down. You know what? Home is where the heart is. Let's start with the co-main. Our boy, Manchester's top team, very own, 3 weeks notice, boom, you know, the one, the miracle man, Lerone Murphy. Let's start with Lerone. Straight
Let's
up.
go.
Let's
Let's
start with
go.
Cole Main. You go on the
And
UFC website, Pico ain't even got his picture up. He's just that dark silhouette.
it's true. It is true. And Lerone is there front and center. He's the A
Yeah,
side, number 6, undefeated, and it's more than what he deserves. It's more than what he deserves. And it's funny because when we heard that Pico's opponent Evloev was out of his fight, I think that was meant to be a fight night, wasn't it?
yeah, it was, yeah.
We were straight on there. We were just like, right, because we spoke to Carl Prince and Lerone Murphy's coach, and he was like, hey, anybody pulls out, we're there.
We're
We were
ready.
posting, making sure everything goes on Instagram, and hey, look, he's got it, and I think it's a great matchup for him. I really do. I think it gives him the opportunity to showcase his takedown defense, because obviously we're going to know Pico's going to come in heavy with that wrestling, but
Yeah.
also once I think he stops that takedown, it gives him the opportunity to showcase his striking, which we've seen many a time before.
100%. I mean, I'm excited for Lerone. I think obviously we reposted his some of his lines on the latest Ariel Hawani when on the interview, and you can see a bit of his character in the Northern banter coming out, and I want to see more of that. I think
Come
with
on.
this, it's a massive opportunity. Let's be honest. It's Cole Main. It's not at the Apex. It's with a crowd because he's missed the main event at the Apex. I've noticed. It's with a
Yeah.
crowd. I can't remember the last time the UFC went to Chicago, so let's just assume it's going to be a rowdy crowd, a crowd that's going to be very much up for it. Against, Pico's I think, being thrown to the lions, and I think Dana does that on purpose with these, ex Bellator PFLs. He's
Thank you.
sending them a message to go, what, you thought you were champion at the number 2 organization, and you thought you could like swim with the sharks here, and it was going to be comfortable. Think again, brother. Yeah, brother. It ain't that easy. I think I think Pico's been fed to a hungry lion in Murphy here. Um,
Yeah.
and respectfully, a lot of the guys who've just come over, this year, you've seen the comments. The casuals have been like, well, that's a bit of a forecheck. Like they've come to UFC and absolutely been swallowed up in their first fight. Not going to name names because I like a lot of these guys, and you've spoken to a lot of them. But my
Yeah.
fear is, I've got fear. My fear is Lerone has to look. Whoever wins, hopefully Lerone. Not hopefully. Lerone wins this, but he's got to look good
Mhm.
because for me, this is your title
Yeah.
eliminator. This is title
Come on.
eliminator stacks now. Lerone has
Yeah.
to look good, and when I mean look good, I love the masterclass he put on Emmett. That masterclass I can watch that over and over again. That is underrated.
Come
That
on.
was the ringman's, the generalship around the ring, the IQ, everything in that fight was, for me, perfection. But some of the fans, obviously, you know what the fans are like. They want blood. They want more.
Yeah,
They
it's
want
true.
more. I hope this is being drilled into Lerone where, yes, a masterclass is fantastic, but we need a masterclass with a bit more of a cutting edge.
Yeah.
You need to create some waves so it's undeniable that if he puts Pico away, because let's be honest, if Pico puts him away, he gets a title shot. Where
Yeah.
Lerone has to 100%, because he's like, oh, you've come in and you beat Lerone, and you've taken his all. The narrative will be built. Peacock's had a lot of hype around him around his whole career. The UFC wanted him years ago, and he chose
Yeah.
to go
It's true.
somewhere else. And he's not a nobody. He's not a nobody, but neither is Lerone Murphy. And Lerone Murphy needs to go in with that confidence and that spite to go. Like despite where I know it was a bit of a barn burner, but I saw that spite against Barboza. He battered
Ooh,
Barboza. He bloodied him up. I felt
lit
that there
him
were
up.
times he could have taken him out completely. He needs to just do what he did there, but just take that next step to go. You know what? Forget winning every single round. I need to
Mhm.
put this guy away. I need to
Yeah.
solidify getting a title shot, and I need to create something where the casuals are now going, yo, this guy's undeniable, 15-0. Give it to him. Done.
This is it. This is it. You've said it. You've said it like I would. He needs to tap into that other level of viewer, basically, because at the moment in time, the casual, as you said, yeah, they're probably not bought in. I love what he's doing, as you said, obviously, in terms of going on Ariel Helwani, going on these podcasts and putting more of his character out. That's what he needs to do. And you're right. I think getting a finish here will just do that. Spectacular performances he's put on, and people think, oh, it's not as exciting. If you were looking for, or if you watch any Muay Thai fights, those are very exciting. Those are striking shows, and it's similar to what Lerone Murphy puts on. But the question to you mentioned that if Aaron Pico wins, he gets a title fight, he gets his #1 contender. Do you think the same if Lerone just wins? Do you think that's enough to be a #1 contender?
No, that's why he has to do it with spite. That's why no, I don't think it's enough. I think it'll be held to his disadvantage. That's just my feeling. I feel he has to wipe Pico away. I think Pico against Ovlev, that was obviously because of who Mozart is. That was 100%. Everyone has been clamoring. Similar with Mozart and Lerone, where they've done what they needed to do. So for me now, because Lerone's come in as replacement, but I still feel that I just feel like even if it was Mozart, I feel if Mozart had done what Mozart does well, I don't think he would have. I still think he would have struggled to get the title shot. And that's what I mean. I think it's almost been set up where Aaron Pico, you beat either one of these guys, you get it. That's how but I don't think it's equally fair on the other side. I think both Mozart and Lerone need to do something a little bit more than their norm to secure it and make sure that it's solidified. Whereas if Mozart had won, I think he'd still need to persuade the UFC that, hey, I'm next. Even though Volk himself has said he's next. That's crazy.
Well, this is it.
And I think it would be the same with Lerone, unfortunately.
This is it. From the champ side, obviously Volkanovski, he's done the division. He's cleared the division out, and obviously we're seeing this next generation of guys coming up. Obviously, it does help them when Volk is looking and saying, "Well, I've already beaten Yair before. I've beaten Ortega. I've beaten all these guys," and he's looking and saying, "Well, what else is there for me?" Yeah. I think Volk will be looking at it and say, "Hey, the winner is next." He's been calling out, as you said, he's been calling out Evloev, but it's the only one that makes sense at the moment to me. But yeah, it's interesting, and I would ask everybody to look at our interviews that we've done with Lerone Murphy's coach, because Carl, he's very honest. Carl Prince is very honest. His assessments about his own fight. Sometimes he's very harsh as well, but he's very honest in terms of Lerone Murphy, and the ceiling for Lerone Murphy he has is very, very, very high, and he believes that if he fights Volk now today, they will get the title from him, and that kind of confidence. And obviously, he's seen a lot in closed doors. We've seen him go into his boxing gyms. He's seen him do some training in Manchester as well. Obviously, we don't see what's going on there, but there must be something that they're seeing. Maybe like, I don't know, a corner's being turned or something's just been revealed that's opened his mind now, and he's just maybe going to start to finish people, as you say. But I'm really excited to see this new version of Lerone Murphy that's hopefully coming up.
Yeah, no, super excited, and I'm wishing him all the best. Carl Prince out there, and he's obviously El Capitan of the team. Every time we go around the world, he's always there, always in the corner. He's a massive team player. He's a big part of that team. So like representing Manny, representing the UK, and that's I think what we would love to do on King's Court is, I think a lot of people aren't familiar with his story. He's got one, and that's another thing. Like if he wasn't who he was, if he was from another part of the world or even another different part of the UK, everyone would know about his story. I think that's also that needs to be put out there, especially if he wins this and it's to push for the title. I think the UFC needs to be pushing that story as well. It needs to be part of it is his story. The narrative needs to be put out there. So, you know what? If no one else does, we'll do it. We'll get him on and definitely open up that can and get it out, because I think if people also know what he's been through and where he's come from, then I think more people will kind of resonate with him and be get on the Lerone Murphy bandwagon and be big fans of him.
100% agree with you, man. Interesting fight. Looking forward to it.
But obviously, we're biased. Our pick is Mr. Murphy.
It is. 2-0 Murphy from here.
For sure. All right, let's jump straight to the main. DDP. This is Khamzat. Jeez. I'm seeing a lot of. I'm seeing a lot of one-sided comments.
Yeah.
On Khamzat, on the side of Khamzat, and I'm like, do you know what? Yeah, I'm not leaning that way at all. But we'll get to the picks. But I think people need to recognize that DDP is not light work, far from light work.
Yeah.
This fight could go so many ways. Obviously, the purest way to go is, yeah, you know, I would say Khamzat is probably the scariest fighter in the first round out there, aside from Tom
Mhm.
Aspinall. I think Tom Aspinall is scarier, but I think after Tom
Yeah.
Aspinall in the first round, it's Khamzat, and that's
Oh,
proven. That's proven. I
100%.
think his first 4 fights in the UFC, I think his total fight time was like something like 7 minutes. And then you remember when he first stormed in the Fight Island 2020, 2021.
Yeah. COVID.
Yeah, and he was just turn around in 10 days. First fight in the UFC, fought again 10 days later. Like scary, 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 scary. And then obviously in recent times, what he did to Whittaker. Seeing even Whittaker still talk about it now, where if I hadn't had taps, you know, I would have been swallowing 6 of my teeth. Six of my teeth. 6 of my teeth. I would have swallowed them. That was crazy. But then
It's mad.
where I see the opportunity is
Mm.
he didn't start Usman in my eyes. I've rewatched that fight again. I think that was a draw. I think 10-8 to him in that first round. And then I
Mm-hmm.
think Usman got round 2 and 3. If there'd been more rounds, I think Usman would have put him away. He looked absolutely done by the end. And
Yeah, he
bear in
did.
mind, in that situation, Usman was 1 week, 2 week last minute replacement.
Yeah, late notice.
Late notice. Late notice. How many times did him versus Leon Edwards get cancelled? I think 3 or 4 that got canned. I just
That's
think
true.
the whole card that had to get redone when it was him versus Diaz, and then he ended up fighting Holland, and they had to rejuggle the 3 fights because of he was 10 pounds overweight. Yeah, I just think there's a lot of past transgressions where I feel like actually for him even to be fighting for the title, I feel he's quite fortunate, especially when you look at the way some other fighters have been treated. It's crazy, and I get it, I get the hype, but I'm excited. I'm still excited about the fight.
What?
I don't think I think it's going to be far from as one-sided as the commentators are putting out there on social media.
Wait, you think it's quite fortunate that he's got the opportunity
Yeah, I do
for a
actually.
title fight at
Yeah,
middleweight?
yeah,
I think it's a long time coming. We need to think. We need to remember he's undefeated.
true.
He has to be the next one. He has to be the next one. He's done more than anybody else in that division. Obviously, bar Izzy to deserve it. Obviously, Izzy hasn't done anything now to deserve it. But I'm saying just his record. He has to be next. But I agree with you. I don't think this is as one-way traffic if everybody's seeing. Seeing. I think DDP is just an unorthodox fighter. Nobody's been able to solve that puzzle in the UFC to date. Everyone thinks, oh, you should just be able to beat him. Like, you should just be able to strike him. Izzy tried, he couldn't do it. Strickland, you should just be able to just box him. Strickland tried twice, he couldn't do it. Like, it's going to be an interesting one because in the countdown, his coach said something that intrigued me a little bit, and I was quite thinking, oh, is that the right game plan? Is that nobody's ever tried to wrestle Khamzat in that sense?
Mm.
They're always trying to back away from him, sort of thing, and they're just going to go into the fire and try to wrestle him. Now, first I was thinking, that maybe not a good idea. But actually, he might be true. It might be true. I think Usman's probably the closest one that's been able to grapple a little bit with him. But obviously, that first round was quite telling. So, but I'm just thinking DDP's just unorthodox style. Him just probably just running at him, trying to take him down. I don't know. It just intrigues me, but it potentially could be where I think DDP could maybe on the feet have more of an advantage. Even though still to this day, I'm not too sure how I rate DDP's stand up. But I'm just thinking if he can maybe last and take it into the rounds 2, rounds 3, he has more of a chance.
Mm.
But it all depends on what Khamzat is like defending that wrestling. because Khamzat could just defend it, and then, oof, well, it's a long night. But yeah, I was intrigued.
Yeah, and I think everything about DDP is underrated. I've got a feeling, like having seen what he's done to his past opponents, that this guy must have unbelievable strength, and I think people underrate his strength even, because you see it
Yeah,
in even when he's even just clinching you, and even when he knocked Whittaker down with a jab. When you go back and that was a jab,
yeah,
like.
yeah.
But I think because he's not doing it with what visually looks ferocious, people
Hmm.
don't rate him that way unless you're on the receiving end. I
Yeah.
think I think undeniably that he's super strong. I think he's probably strong in all areas. And it's probably what like where when you're in there, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't get away. Like he's suffocating, and he's all like you said, he's always moving forward. So what's going to
Hmm.
happen if his game plan is always to move forward and Hamzat is moving forward? Yo, that's going to be nuts for me. That's going to be crazy because
Yeah.
Hamzat's going to obviously, what he did. Whitaker did a 12-week camp of probably anti-wrestling. Comes out, Hamzat takes him down after 30 seconds. 30 seconds in, Hamzat's already doing this thing where he's got him to does the little thing, pivots around, got his back. That's his move. He does that to everyone. He does that to
Yeah.
everyone. So
It's true.
surely, in my head, I'm thinking, like in my head, I'm seeing like if they were maybe lighter guys, I don't even know if DDP has it in him, but I'm thinking, yo, you're gonna come at me like the way you do it with everyone, the way you did with remember Kevin Holland, he did the same where it's still a little bit debatable if Kevin Holland was going for the touch, but then he did the whole exactly what he did to Whittaker, take you
Hmm.
down, swivel, boom, on your back.
Yeah.
As he comes in, and when you watch it, he's so confident in his takedowns that sometimes Hamzat's crazy. His knees hit the mat. So he's not even like fully going down. Sometimes his knee will be on the mat as he's going into you. I'm thinking straight away, hey, if that's Masvidal, he's kneeing your head off. he's doing what he did to Askren. So there's little things like that where I'm thinking, yes, he's a beast. Yes, Hamzat is scary, but
Yeah.
I feel he's more predictable to read than DDP is.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because
Well,
I don't
well,
think you can
I,
I don't think you can predict what DDP is going to do next.
I don't think
I think
DDP knows what he's gonna do next
and that's
either.
what a lot of people say. He's so awkward and unorthodox, where it's just like, whereas you can look at Hamzat and you're like, I know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's got power in the hands and all the rest of it. I just think, yeah, I'm aligned to yourself where I think I expect DDP to get out of the first round, to be fair, and expect him to
Hmm.
survive the second round. It's then for me 3, 4, 5 where for me Hamzat's in trouble. If he sees 3 and then 4, I'm like yeah
Yeah.
he's in big trouble. For me, his
Yeah.
best
Fully
opportunity,
agree.
as everyone's going to say, is what rounds 1 and 2. But for me, I just don't see. I mean, I didn't see what if he, I'm just shocked. What he did to Whitaker still shocks me. So I didn't see that coming. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
Who comes out or DDP?
What Hamzat did to Whitaker.
Whitaker. Yeah. He finished Whitaker. DDP finished Whitaker quicker than I've seen anybody finish Whitaker, and then Khamzat came and did it even quicker. So it's
And
crazy.
and obviously I brought up strength, but obviously Hamzat's got unbelievable strength because
Yeah.
that wasn't you know what I mean? That wasn't under the chin. That was across the face
Squeeze.
and snapped the
Yeah.
guy's jaw. I don't
It's
think I've ever seen that before. That's crazy.
it,
Two guys
it
who the
is. It's mad.
same weight division. It's not like one's a light heavyweight and one's a bantamweight. Maybe you'd see it then, but that's just crazy. But yeah, it could be a great fight, or it could be over very quick.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for this one, man. But saying that, just a quick one. He's tough. DDP is tough. He's got a big ass head.
Yeah,
Even if he was in the same position as Whitaker, would he tap? I probably don't think
I
he'd
don't
tap.
think he would.
But
No,
that's the
I
thing.
think he swallows all 6 of those teeth.
That's it. So Kamzat needs to have just the he needs to be on point with his technique to actually be able to put somebody to sleep in any way, shape, or form.
Mm,
Obviously, with his grappling, with his submission skills, or he needs to
mm.
shut the lights off. And, you know, we've seen that Khamzat has good hands, but we've not seen it actually in his recent fights. When he burst onto the scene in the UFC, we saw him starching guys, we saw him hurt people on the feet, but I've personally not seen it in his last few fights. Hopefully he's been working on that as well, because that'll just give him another element of how Khamzat can win. But this one's anyone's game. I wouldn't be a betting man on this one. I wouldn't be.
Yeah, no, it's a crazy one. I mean, I can't remember what my champion's pick is, to be fair. I probably have to dig that out, my middleweight champion pick. But yeah, I think because of the noise, I'm leaning slightly towards DDP to win it and defend, because again, this guy, every time he just does it every time, and I don't know how, but he's just he's just somehow every
Finds a
single
way.
time. So yeah. Also, I think it would just be weird if I don't know. I don't trust Chimaev if he was champion. I just think there's just too many variables still in the mix. I think I just don't trust him. Maybe because of his past record, and throw in the visa issues, throw in the health issues, having long COVID, having weight issues, cancelled fights and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'd be uncomfortable if he was champion as well. Like, would Dana feel secure?
It's true.
Plus, I still want to see Africa happen. So, yeah,
That's another thing to it. Yeah, and he's been able to get into the US, which we thought obviously it might have been a myth, but I don't know. He's able to get in there as well, so that's another interesting one.
Yeah, definitely. But if you had to make a pick, where you going?
If I had to make a pick,
Yeah, you had to.
Flipping heck, I probably would say Khamzat. And probably that's only because, again, on one of the countdown things, Khamzat said DDP's preparing for a war. He said, why prepare for a war when I'm preparing to kill someone? So I was just like, right, yeah. And he's my guy. Khamzat's my guy. I like Khamzat, man.
You've met him, so
I've met him. He's my boy.
He'll find you, innit? He'll find you.
That's it. And when I went to South Africa, nobody from DDP's camp hit me back up. So yeah. If I had to trick, Khamzat for me.
Sensible move.
What are you thinking?
No, I've said it. DDP.
You said yeah. No,
DDP for me.
Fair.
Visually, I just think he takes him into those waters of round 3, 4, and 5, and then he dominates. Does enough.
I won't be surprised.
Yeah,
I won't be surprised. But then what's next? That's the big question, and probably we'll be talking about that on Sunday. But yeah, what is next after that? Interesting.
We'll see. That is the main event. Like I said, banger of a card. Geoff Neal versus Prates.
Geoff Neal, it is. He ain't no slouch, but Prates, that striking. It's hard to bet against him. Yeah. Very hard.
Yeah, I mean, Prates, that dirty left hand, obviously coming off the losses against Ian Gary, his last fight.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, young dog takes this one for me. I think Prates takes this one against Geoff Neal. So, what about yourself? It's going to be a bang of a fight. It's just going to be on the feet. It's going to be violence.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'd say it's again anyone's game again, but I think the younger fighter, I think he'll just do enough, and I think he would learn a lot from that fight against Ian Gary. Ian Gary was mature in that fight, and I think he's going to take that in, and it's going to be a bit smarter. So Prates for me as well.
Yeah, nice. And then Cannoneir versus MVP.
Let's go. Interesting one as well. And I totally forgot this one was on the card. I forgot.
I don't like. I know Styles make fights and all the rest of it. I don't like this fight. I can visualize it already, and I'm like, it's the one I might need coffee for.
Oh, really? You think it's gonna be a sleeper?
Yeah. I'm visualizing Cannoneir versus Adesanya when they fought. I just think MVP is going to have too much for him in terms of movement. Cannoneir needs that mid-range or grappling. he's not getting his hands on MVP. MVP is going to be too elusive, and he's just going to take pot shots and just get to the end and flawless victory, but not cause any real damage or hurt him. Just literally points.
Points,
Play
yeah.
it clever, because Cannoneir is a bear. He's a gorilla. That's his name, innit? He's a gorilla.
Yeah.
He's just gonna be like, yeah, you're not getting your hands on me, and I'm not gonna give you that short range opportunity for you to knock me out like you did against Robocop in your last fight. So I'm gonna use my length, stay long, stay fast, kicks, look good, styling, profiling, all the rest of those lines from Ric Flair. You're not gonna touch me. You're not gonna take me down. You're not gonna grapple me. I'm gonna get out there. Nice, check, done.
I agree. No, I agree. But it's middleweight, isn't it?
He's at middleweight. Yeah, he's a middleweight again.
Middleweight.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting one. But yeah, yeah, it's going to be MVP for me as well. It's a risk for Cannoneir taking the fight. I don't think he wanted to take the fight. But hey, gives opportunities to MVP, different route. So yeah, let's go.
And then we got ain't seen him for a while. Elliott versus Asakura.
Yeah, Tim Elliott. Both once title contenders.
Yeah.
Asakura. Okay, so he's been. Is this his first fight after he lost to Pantoja?
Exactly.
Number 15. Right. Okay. Fair dude. It'll be an interesting fight. I used to like Tim Elliott. I used to like his style. I think he causes some problems. I've still not seen enough of Asakura. I've still not seen enough.
I think this is nicely set up for Asakura to take this now. He needs to look good because he got starched last time around. He's coming to the organisation. I've seen enough of him in Rising to know that the guys, and you saw a little bit of it against Pantoja in terms of the knees and the elbows and stuff. His knees are filthy. I think, his knees. I think he finishes him. I can visualize him like a knee or taking Elliott's head off. I think Asakura has to win this one. Like, has to win it.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, for me, Asakura takes this one. Pantoja's just a beast. That was just too soon.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Asakura for me he's got no choice but to take this one.
Fair play.
And then we got Bobby King Green versus what? The old men fighting forever.
King Green, indeed. I don't know Ferreira. I don't think I know him. But King Green, what was his last?
Diego Ferreira. Diego Ferreira.
I'm not too away with him actually. No, but King Green, he's still there. He's still quite active.
Ferreira's last two, just quickly. He beat Michael Johnson, and he beat Rebecca.
Oh, right, okay, fair play.
Yeah, so yeah,
and then fair play.
But yeah, he hasn't been very active. I mean, lost to Dawson beginning of this year. Rebecca was May 2024. The win over Michael Johnson was May 2023, and then before that, he lost to Gamrot 2021. Yeah, I'm going King Green on activity, man, for sure.
Yeah. He's active. He's active for an older
Chimaev did not look done at the end of the Usman fight. I thought so. I thought he was gassing. Just seeing a comment from Jake. Thank you, Jake. I thought he was gassing.
Yeah. I thought he was gassing as well.
I thought he was gassing. Definitely. Rewatch it.
I thought he was gassed as well. He was done. I thought he was done, lads.
Gas tank empty when it's below the last line on the gas tank. Air.
You had to go petrol station.
Air. Dude had another message from Jake. Dude had a torn ligament in his dominant hand for 2 rounds and still outstruck Usman.
Usman had no knees. Usman has had knee problems for time, and it was on short notice. I think, and I'm hoping obviously those problems that Chimaev has were true, and he's out of it now. But yeah, he did not look good. I don't think you can defend that. I don't.
No, first round, obviously, like we said, dominant 10-8, easy. But 2 and 3, considering like we said, how short notice Usman had and the hype that Khamzat had, to not put Usman away and yeah, not even that. I just thought I genuinely think Usman should have got a draw. and I think I was out there. I was out there, and I think that was even
Oh yeah,
that
you
was the
were. Yeah,
sentiment
yeah.
from that was the sentiment from everyone. Everyone was like, "What?" Like, and
Yeah,
everyone out there was supporting Chimaev. So his own fans weren't sure that he should have got that win.
that's true. That's very true. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure I can agree with you there, my guy, but yeah, let's see if Chimaev, let's see what he's got on the weekend. Let's see what he's got. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
And obviously, a lot of the focus in Chimaev, looking at the build-up, has been in his conditioning. He's been in the US for a while, training over at Jackson with Arman Sarukian. It looks
Yeah.
like they were doing even in the last, was it Embedded or whatever? Aaron Pico popped up, and they were
Yeah.
with the same strength and conditioning coach. So yeah, that was
That's
like, oh, didn't expect that. So that was a nice little surprise for sure.
indeed, yeah.
And the thing is, for me, I've always looked at Chimaev, and I've always thought, even looking at his, it always looks like he's working hard anyway. So it's not like that for me. Isn't suddenly, oh wow, he suddenly looks great in strength and conditioning. He's always looks like he's in beast mode anyway. But then it's a case of how
Mhm.
does that translate to the fights, and that's where he hasn't been that convincing in terms of getting into the round, the later round. So but at the same time, as I touched on, he's had health issues, and if you've had lung issues and issues with breathing and stuff, then who knows? He might have only been dealing with a percentage of a lung. Where look at
Yeah.
DDP. He didn't have a nose for the first part of this UFC career. He'd be breathing out of his mouth after the first 30 seconds, but
It's
still
true.
getting the job done. So.
That,
This
that
for me is a beautiful fight. They're both, I think, the same age, both 31, both in their primes. Yeah, either way, it's going to be, hopefully, if it lasts longer than the first round, a fight for the ages.
yeah. Yeah, that's it. Can't wait. That's true. That fight against Till when he was flagging a bit there. I thought he was BSing. I was like, hey, it's not about your nose. I thought it's just excuses. No, he wasn't BSing because that guy's got tank for days. So
Yeah,
fair play to him. Fair play.
another one from
Right.
Jake. But to Usman's credit, he was seconds away from a broken face due to face crank, but pulled off the clutch slam. Usman is a G. Yo, Niger no carry last now. Usman is a G. Yeah,
He is.
go on, give it to him. Even with no
Agree on
knees.
there. I'll get at the top. Indeed.
Sure, for sure.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
But obviously, like I said, Lerone Murphy, wishing you all the best. We are the super biased King's Court right there. So yeah, just hoping he can really put a stamp on that. Um, please leave your comments. Share this video. We're very close to a few internal targets, so please share the video, like it, leave some
That's
comments.
it.
As always, engage. And yeah, I just think 319 is going to be a banger of a card. We'll see what we can do on the night. One of us might be out celebrating because it's a birthday in the gang, but we'll see, see what we can put together. Hopefully, if not, we'll
That's
do
it.
something on Sunday for sure because I think it might need a wrap up.
Yeah, that's it. That's it for sure. Catch us obviously on Instagram as well. Watch us when we interview fighters from the UK, from the US, all over as well. Interesting stuff coming out of there. Always trying to keep content out for you guys as well. So much love, much love.
Yeah, and like we said as well, if you want to know a little bit more about Lerone's story and that's something you haven't delved into yourself, we're happy to do so. So again, get into the comments if you do know about the story. If you don't, trust me, like I said, it's an incredible story and one that we will gladly be his mouthpiece and shout about because we definitely, especially if he gets the win, then I think it's something the UFC can absolutely milk in terms of a narrative and building some momentum towards him fighting Volk the Great. That would be sick.
Indeed, indeed. Love that.
Nice. Any more for any more in the comments? I feel like I'm on Babe Station.
Steady, steady.
Because I'm sweating as well. It's just like
It's hot.
I have to take my shirt off. Call me.
That's it. That's it. Last one from Jake was no knees Usman dominate Buckley, and that is true. I was happy about that one. Can't say I wasn't a little bit shocked, but hey, Usman's keeping his name relevant. He's keeping his name in that title contention mix. So hey, let's
I was
see
really
what's
shocked by that because I genuinely felt Buckley was going to dust him. I thought Buckley going into it was going to beat Usman, to be fair. And Usman just, again, just outmanned him, full on out experienced him and showed him that, yo, knees, no knees. I'm still the guy.
It's
Oh, it's
true.
crazy. Who's next for Usman though? Like, what's the noise next? I mean, it'd be great if he could. What month are we in now? August. Be great to see him again. I mean, I don't
Oh
recall
yeah,
him taking much damage in that last fight. He seemed to fully dominate Buckley. Be great to see Usman out again.
that's very true. That's very true. Have a look quickly because I think maybe he's only fought once this year, and I think hopefully for him he'd like another one
You'd hope so.
at least. He's always on his pound for pound podcast with Triple C.
Consistent with that.
Indeed, he is, and he's calling. He's calling for fights. He still wants. He still wants to be known as the top of the class there. So, his last. Obviously, yeah, that's his first fight actually in 2 years. The Khamzat one was the last fight. You're right. Which was in 2023. So he's been out of it. So we need to see him more active, really. But I think at the age that he's at now, he needs to be probably more selective and more precise in terms of who he fights next. Don't be just taking anyone. So yeah, interesting.
I'm just looking at the rankings now. I'm trying to think who would be a fit. Who would be a fit? That's interesting. Yeah, I'm not even sure who would fight there. Where realistically for Usman, yeah, it's a hard one. Anyway, yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, maybe we come jump back online and have a talk about what's next for the Nigerian Nightmare.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Cool. Seeing if there's any more comments that we missed out. No. Massive love to Jake. He was all up in there.
Much love, brother.
Much respect. But yeah. Is that it? Are we all good in terms of 319 with preview show?
I think we're all good. There's so much to pick from. We could go in all night, but for now, I think that's all the time we have. But yeah, we will be back. And yeah, I'd like to get your thoughts on UFC 319. So yeah, comment below as Obasagi said. So yeah, look forward to it.
It's been the King's Court. It's your guy Obasagi.
Yeah, it's your guy Mardi.
319. It's going to be violence. Over and out.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.